The characters, clips, and quotes used in this review are for educational and parody purposes under fair use. Please support the art of filmmaking by watching Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in its entirety and reading the Scott Pilgrim series by purchasing them at a bookstore or reading them online. Thank you. Long ago in Lafayette, Indiana, William Witnowski was about to review Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Fuck. Hello everybody, welcome to William Witnowski's Guide to the Other Side. Today, Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is a graphic novel series, a movie, and there was also a video game tie-in, and recently a card game. Look. 3 of which I have. I can't get the video games anymore. It was only for the PS3 and Xbox 360 respectively. I have a 360, but it was removed from Xbox Live. The movie was an idea long before the series was even completed. Shortly after the first book was published, the Scott Pilgrim creator Brian Lee O'Malley said, quote, "I expected them to turn it into a full-on action comedy with some actor that I hated, but ultimately I didn't even care. I was a starving artist and I was like, please, just give me some money." The script was being written as more of the books were coming out, and according to Edgar Wright, O'Malley was very involved with the whole movie making process. And in regards to where the story was going, they both kind of collabed, making it very hard for people to tell when something was Edgar's idea or when something was Brian's idea. Which is one of the most fascinating things, because the only thing we're really for sure of is the first book was entirely Brian's idea, and the ending was entirely Brian's idea, for the comics at least, because he wanted to... I'll get to that later. Never mind, I'll get to that right now. It had a different ending because O'Malley wanted to distinguish the two properties as separate entities with the same name, for some reason. But the movie would become like really popular in coming years. Nowadays, everyone knows what Scott Pilgrim is, not because of the comics, but because of the movie. Then they find the comics. I'm lucky I found the comics. And, ladies and gentlemen, that today is the movie we are talking about.
Hey, what's up?
I'll leave you alone forever now.
You know this one girl with hair like this?
Yes, that's Ramona Flowers.
The plot of the film is about Scott Pilgrim. He is a 22-year-old slacker in a band with his friend Steven Stills and his high school sweetheart/ex, Kim Pine. He is in a fake relationship with a 17-year-old girl named Knives Chow. He then meets a mysterious girl named Ramona Flowers, and they go on a date. The next day, however, he's attacked by Ramona's first evil ex, Matthew Patel, starting a chain of various fights for the ability to date Ramona.
Mr. Pilgrim! I'm Ramona's first evil ex-boyfriend.
So the plot itself is unique because it's something that was never done before. The movie was conceived around the time that the first book was finished and being published. The editor himself said, "Hey, this looks like movie material to me." So, I believe, personally, that this was phenomenal. Like, phenomenal storytelling. So, I give the plot to Scott Pilgrim vs. the World an A. I don't know about you guys, but I wish my roommate was Wallace Wells. I mean, all I got is this depressing thing. Yo, Charlie Brown, it smells like decaying corpse in here. There we go. Yes. The characters of Scott Pilgrim include Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, Wallace Wells, Knives Chow, Kim Pine, Young Neil. Let's not forget her evil exes, Matthew Patel, Lucas Lee, Todd Ingram, Roxanne Richter, the twins, and Gideon Graves. I like these characters. Don't get me wrong, I think characters like Scott Pilgrim and Knives Chow and Wallace are amazing. But Ramona's arc isn't in the movie. And neither is Kim's. Neither is Knives. All these, Scott's arc, that's changed. All these arcs are they're different. Like, Scott's arc was getting his life back together. But at the end of the movie, he's still a complete tool. And Ramona's character is way better in the comics. She doesn't even have an arc. She's still cold. Or in the book, she was cold at the beginning, but she warmed up to Scott and his friends over time. This Ramona doesn't. And that's why I have no choice. I am giving Scott Pilgrim's characters a C. Next is the final product. Let's go. I really like the editing. It's fast and 50% comic book, 40% anime, and 10% video game. I think it's a good adaptation, and I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. And I give the final product an A. And so, William went on to receive hate mail from geeks with no lives for saying anything bad about their beloved movie, even though he praised the fuck out of it. Losers.